The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to build on a previous example where we have shape and some derived classes from shape, and we're going to add in a virtual function. As always, these files are available for download using a link in the description below. I'll give you a few seconds so you can download it, and then we can get started. All right, so let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to my shape.h file. And if I look at some things that shape has, there's something I'm almost always going to want to have. And that's, for example, something like a get area. The problem is how I get an area is going to differ depending upon if I have a circle, a square, rectangle, triangle, etc. So I can't really write a get area method. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to create a virtual method. I'm going to say virtual double get area. I'm going to say equal to 0. Now, when I say equals 0, what that does is it says, hey, we're going to recognize the fact that there is no method for this, okay? There's a method, we've defined it, we've declared it essentially, but because it's virtual, it's actually not created. And you're noticing it's not giving me any type of warning message about like, oh, you haven't created this inside my shape.cpp file. However, it is going to be required. And if I go into my source file, I'm going to come up here and include square, include circle, and now I'm going to come down here and say circle C1. You're going to notice it's going to give me an error, and that's because I haven't overridden that method. So it's expecting to see it, but it doesn't see it. So I'm going to come over here into my circle.h, and I'm going to specify double get area. And this is all I have to do. Now, I can specify an optional method called override, and I can simply put it here, override. This is like a hint to the compiler letting me know, hey, you should look for this inside of one of my previous parent class methods. And it's going to help do a little bit of checking and make sure I pass in the right parameters, but it's not required. Inside of circle.cpp, I'm going to create double circle get area. Inside my method, all I have to do is return the area. The area for a circle is pi r squared. So I'm going to say return 3.141592 times r squared. I'm going to use the POW function, POW. Get the radius, comma 2. That's going to square it for me. And that gets my area. If I save this, go back to my source, I'll come over here, give it a default radius, and now I have my circle, and it likes my circle because it has the area, okay? I'll need to do this for my square as well. Any class that extends that shape class is going to have that area if we use it. So I'm going to come over here and say double get area. This time I'm not going to use the override. You're going to notice it's going to work exactly the same. Come over to square.cpp, double, and my area is going to be my size squared. Since it's a square, it's going to be equal size. So I'm just going to say return POW size, comma 2. And that's going to get my area for a square. Notice it's neither one gives a warning or error. Both are acceptable whether you use the override or not. But this is just a very simple and easy way for me to create my files. But this virtual method is a very easy way to ensure that all of my child classes have this get area, but let me know that, hey, I have to define it inside of that child method because it's going to be different for each of them. So it's a great little tool to help with that. Hopefully you found this video helpful for you. If so, check out the rest of the series on how to get better at programming in C and C++. Also consider liking the video and subscribing. Thanks.